Welcome to toy-polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi. Now if you watch this channel regularly, you'll know one thing I like doing is making capes for vintage action figures, and it was recently suggested to me that I make a cape for a vintage Thundercats Lion-o figure, and I immediately thought that was actually a pretty good idea. So that's what we're going to be doing today. The first thing we need to do though is work out what sort of cape to make. So let's take a look at that and we'll get on with the project. So what sort of cape are we going to make? Because Lino doesn't actually sort of wear a cape that often in the series. He should just look like this, a bare figure with a couple of accessories. But there is one episode where Lino does wear a cape, and that is called Lord of the Snows. So I'm going to be using that as my sort of starting point. In that episode, Lino is surrounded by snow, and so to keep warm, he wears a nice long red cape that has a couple of gold fixings on the front that attach it to his armour. And I think we can make something that looks pretty close to that using some red fabric and some yellow buttons to recreate the little clasp. So let's do a little bit of draping and we'll see what we can work out. Now I have made many capes in the past for all sorts of different figures, and they normally give me a rough idea of how I'm going to go about constructing a cape for a new figure, but in this instance I'm not particularly sure because the way that cape hangs is very specific, and it really needs to look like that to make it work. So I have myself some fabric here. This is some red toy knit or looped fleece. This is a sort of material that I show all the time when I'm making capes, because it is very sort of reminiscent of the material that they would have used back in the sort of late 80s and early 90s. It's a really sort of easy material to work with as well. Very easy to cut, it doesn't fray, and very easy to sew. So what I want to do is actually just sort of drape this over the figure to give myself a rough idea of what my sort of starting point will be. So in the images from the show, you can see that the cape sort of hangs around his shoulders and is attached at 2 points here, sort of on either side of his armour. So I'm just going to take the corner of this fabric and sort of hold it there just to see what sort of shape we get. And you can see actually straight away that is not looking too bad. It's going to hang fairly nicely down to his feet. If I bring another piece of the fabric over around the corner, just like that, you can see we will get a reasonable shape, but the problem we will have is that the back of it's going to look pretty scruffy. You can see we're going to have a sort of a wedge of fabric that just doesn't want to sit properly. So I think the way to do this is we'll start with a basic piece of material. I'll do a quick test build and see what it looks like, and then from that I'm going to make some modifications, and I think I'll probably have to add some darts in across his shoulders, which is basically cutting that triangular pieces out of the fabric and sewing along it, and that way it will end up sort of sitting a bit flatter onto his shoulders. But I think a basic sort of shape of fabric will actually work. So you can see there, that doesn't look too bad. So let me go and make myself a quick test version of this, and we'll see how it looks. And the first prototype's always a bit rough, but it gives you an idea of what the final cape may end up looking like.
P-O-Y, P-O-L-L-O-Y, that is incorrect. Try again.
And as if by magic, here is that quick test cape. So basically I've cut myself a oblong of fabric which is 12 centimeters across by 16 centimeters tall. That means it will hang just about by his feet. I've sewn a couple of buttons on the front there, and these are just some small buttons that I picked up off on eBay. These are about 3 millimeters in diameter, a little bit of elastic across the top there, and I've tried to stop the bulking out of the back of it just by sewing a few little stitches along the back just to try and sort of keep that held in place. I'm not quite sure how this will work. I don't think it will look particularly amazing, but it will just give me a good idea and a good sort of starting point. So let's put that over the front of the figure, and then we can see what it looks like. So the front actually doesn't look too bad. You can see that will work pretty well. Those two buttons do look like little sort of buckles, but yeah, the rest of it, yeah, it's not perfect. The back is very scruffy indeed, and when I don't pull it down, if I'm putting it down sort of with my fingers, it looks pretty good, but if I don't, you can see that we've lost the shape of his shoulders. It really is rising up. So it's a good starting point and it's a good idea, but that's not going to be good enough for what I want to make. So I'm going to go and draw myself a little plan and see if I can work out a way that I can add some darts to this, and the darts I think will make a big difference. Based on what I learnt making this sort of prototype cape, I've now drawn up this pattern. I think this one should work a whole lot better. It's no longer an oblong of fabric. It's a bit wider at the bottom and a bit narrower at the top. I've also added a slight curve to the top and a slight curve to the bottom because I just thought this one looked a little bit too square. And you can see I've also marked a couple of places where I want to put some darts on the shoulder. Now darts basically mean you cut out a triangular piece of fabric and then sew those two edges together, and it just gives some shape. So on something like this, I would end up sewing it so that these two pieces pieces will sort of join together like that, and it will give you a sort of curved piece that will go over the shoulder. So I have already turned this into a prototype version that I can test on the figure, and I've just got some scrap fabric because I realise I don't have a huge amount of this red fabric and it's a bit wasteful to do all of my prototypes in that, whereas this black fabric I've got quite a lot of, and it's not something that I use particularly often. So you can see what I've done is actually sewn those two darts in there. I've done it with a red thread so you can actually see it. This is inside out at the moment. I've also sewn a little bit at the top there, so I sort of folded that piece down once. Again, that's just to try and stop it sort of being too bulky on the shoulders. And I've also put the piece of elastic across the front. I haven't added the buttons on this one because again, I've only got a limited supply of buttons and I'll end up removing these ones anyway. So this is the new prototype cape. Let's test it on the figure. So let's get Lion-o in here and we'll put the cape over his shoulders and see how that sits. Now this should sit a lot better on his shoulders and also be a lot less bulky behind his head. So you can see from the front we've ended up with a much better curve there. There's no longer the sort of bits of fabric sticking up, and it actually sort of follows the line of his shoulders. And if I turn this round, you can see on the back as well, we don't have such a bulky bit of fabric, which is what we were getting on this one. So I think this is going to be a pretty good sort of cape in the end. So let's go ahead and make a proper version of it. Before I do that, I need to make a final pattern. So I'm going to take this into Photoshop and draw that up. And here we go, this is my finished pattern. So we now need to prep this to stick onto the fabric to cut that out. And as I've shown previously, the way I like to do that is just stick a bit of double-sided tape on the back of this, then cut it out. Then I can use that tape to attach it to the fabric and make sure that I cut the fabric out exactly to the same shape as this pattern. So let's get the tape attached and start cutting everything out. So here is that fabric now cut out, and you can see I've cut a couple of little notches at the top just to indicate where those darts are. This is actually slightly darker material to the red that I originally used. I just think it's going to look a little bit nicer in a sort of more muted red. So now we can start doing the sewing. So where these two notches are at the top, on the back side of the material, I'm going to fold those over, and then I need to sew sort of diagonally from that point outwards. I want to leave about 5mm at the widest part so that we can trim off. So I'm going to start at the sort of the very end of the cut and work my way out, and we'll do that on both the notches that I've cut there. So there you can see those two bits sewn up. I'm just going to take my scissors here and just trim off some of this excess material just to neaten everything up. This will make it sort of sit a little bit flatter also on the Lion-o's shoulders there. So just trim those up. There we go. So that's the sort of basis of the cape starting to come together. I also want to just sew one little stitch on this sort of back edge. So this is the bit that will go behind Lion-o's neck. And I know from my sort of test thing that it does still want to rise up. So what I'm going to do is just fold that over by about 5mm and just put a couple of stitches in there just to sort of hold that in place, and then we can start attaching a little bit of elastic and a couple of buttons, and yeah, it will start to actually look like a cape. For the buckles and for the elastic, I'm going to be using a couple of these tiny little buttons. Now, I think I did mention that these were 3mm. They're actually 5mm. I'd forgotten what size they were. You can buy these on eBay. I bought a whole bag of them in all sorts of different colours, and funny enough, it's the yellow ones that I use the most, because the sort of golden yellow ones are perfect for the Masters of the Universe Prince Adam belt, and these yellow ones will look pretty good here as well. So I'm going to attach one of those to the corner there, and then I've got a tiny amount of this flat black elastic which I'm going to put underneath. Now, if we look at the way this is going to sit on the character, it's actually going to sit like that. So we want to put the elastic between those two corners. We don't want to do it sort of vertically like that. That's not how it's going to end up when it's sort of finally on Lino. So we need to put it like that. So I've got a little bit of yellow cotton here and a needle, and then I'm going to line everything up. So I want to line that button up just about there. You want it just about in the corner. I've got this tiny piece of elastic which I'm going to put on the underside like so, and then I'm going to get sewing. Okay, so here is the cape all finished. So you can see I've attached the two buttons there with a bit of elastic, and already it's getting that nice sort of curved shape. So I'm hoping when we put this on the figure, it'll actually sort of match the shape of his shoulders and also match how the cape looks in the cartoon series. And I think that is not looking too bad at all. We've got a nice curve, so it does sit on his shoulders really pretty well. If I turn it round, you can see that the back is also sitting pretty well. It looks a little bit ruffled, but that's what I was sort of hoping for, just sort of like it's ruffled up around his neck. But yeah, that looks really pretty cool. I do like the buttons. They make it look like they are sort of little buckles on there. And this is pretty much what I would expect them to have done back in the sort of 80s and 90s when making a figure like this. A fairly simple cape with some extra details on it, and it just sort of sits really nicely with the figure. So there we go. That is my custom cape for this Lion-o figure from Thundercats. And here we go, here is the finished figure with that custom cape applied. As you can see, I had to go through a few different prototypes to get to this final version, but it's well worth taking a few goes at it, because the first version you do is never going to be correct. In fact, if I show you the first version against the final version here, you can see what a difference it makes by adding darts and extra bits of details to it. The first version was good, but this final version is much better. If you want to have a go at making this for yourself, then I will put the pattern available on toy-polloi.com. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video. If you have, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to be notified each time I upload a new video. And if you've really enjoyed it and want to help me out here at toy-polloi, then why not think about becoming a patron of the channel. You get early access to all of my restoration videos, plus access to an exclusive video series called On the Cutting Mat, where I show projects and restorations that you won't see anywhere else. So have a think about that, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching Toy-Polloi. Subscribe for more great videos.